red button from hell. Hello everyone, welcome to Armored Talk. I'm going to say we called it because we asked Obsidian to make a move, and within hours of our videos going up, there was suddenly a huge press release that we didn't know was coming.
Seems legit to me.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I need to upgrade to premium because all my premium disappeared.
Oh no.
So we have several co-hosts here. I think should all introduce themselves. Hi, I'm Fiora.
Lightfoot. Ready.
I'm talking.
I'm Headshot.
Spitfire.
Alright, so we're gonna try to talk and break down all the shenaniganry. Spitfire, ready up when you're ready, that got released. I'm gonna specifically be talking about the several vehicles that were announced with recoilless rifles. Anybody else got something they want to focus on?
Well, everything.
Everything.
All the things!
I like the different variants of the T80 that are coming.
T72.
Yep.
Similar.
The chieftains.
T64. Chieftains, exactly.
The three Scorpion variants.
Finally.
Give me more.
I would like to talk about how the tonnage system, in my view, is completely unacceptable for high tier vehicles that are not that don't actually weigh that much, and how they might actually be considered a free kill given how guns are supposed to work.
Okay. So for those who missed it, there was a press announcement on Thursday that went out about a couple hours after we had all posted our videos that basically told all of the details of Armored Warfare 2.0, which, if you know Obsidian, these press announcements usually come about 1 to 2 weeks before everything hits the actual server. So, recoilless rifles, good or bad? Like, personal opinions.
Fun.
They're just cannons, basically. There's no difference. They're just guns.
They just
Well-
work the same as a main battle tank cannon. I don't think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can mount them to much, much lighter vehicles, as illustrated by one of the featured vehicles that everyone kind of tilted their head about when the caliber of gun was announced, was the 106mm variant of the M113, i.e. the Tier 1 APC that's getting basically a cannon.
Yep.
In before the on-toss.
Give it to me.
Are we going to see
I
technicals?
want it.
No,
Like,
not yet. Not yet. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they've said technicals yet.
Technicals, I think they've actually ruled out it specifically because they want to have actual like armored vehicles first. Like, because it's not that is an armored vehicle. It's based on like
It
a
was used though, and it's being used today.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was used. It's in the National
Yeah,
Guard as a reserve unit.
But I mean, the ones that they're actually planning on putting in are actually are armored vehicles. Like the other ones are, I can't remember what country they're from, but they based on like the BRDM or something along those lines. So
There's a lot of vehicles in this game that could be actually considered unarmored vehicles for how much armor they have. Simply ruling out basically a Jeep, when we have so many vehicles that are Jeeps with guns attached to them, is a little bit ludicrous.
I guess like the VBL.
Eagle, Fox, Crab, the VBR. You can make.
I keep
a
on
case for
thinking about
Six
the-
as well.
Somalian technicals, which are pretty much trucks with cannons on them.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
in Syria.
that's something that I'm looking at and going, could that be something they could add down the line?
That
I
will
want them
Have
to-
probably
like,
be.
I want them to do actual armored vehicles first.
Yeah.
Like they need to start introducing some of the more popular tank, like the Leclercs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the French line needs to come. There needs to be probably a Korean line somewhere along the line.
That probably will be the
Japan.
Chinese.
Japan.
Chinese, I think.
Yeah, it'd probably be part of that. But
well, I
like,
I do like the fact they're expanding the Chinese, and they basically have announced that within a week of 2.0 going up, they're going to unleash the Chinese Tier 9 and 10 vehicles, whatever those are going to be.
Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong, because I'm thinking it's all for the good, I think. I mean, what I've read, the lines being actually make sense now. Because a lot of vehicles, there were a lot of gaps. Simply, already from the beginning was thinking, what? There should be much more vehicles than this. You know, between if you go through the years and the decades of tank development.
I mean, some of
Yeah.
them don't really
And-
make sense either. Like if you go from the Leo to the OF back to a Leo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree. The changes are definitely there. Things like the Leopard 1s will now be classified as light tanks for matchmaker purposes, because that's what they really are.
They
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
They're not. They pretend to be main battle tanks, but they're really light tanks. And the Terminator is going to be specifically named in the article as a brawler.
Yeah,
i.e., it's
exactly.
going to be matchmakered as though it were a main battle tank.
exactly.
I just hope that the Leopard ones, when they get turned into light tanks, actually are fast instead of kind of fast.
I just hope that with the change for the Terminator going to a brawler, it doesn't ruin what the Terminator is. Because the Terminator at the moment is such a fun vehicle to play. Like I just hope it doesn't like change that.
Well, they
Like
will not
especially
nerf
with the
it, I
auto
mean.
with the well yeah, but the autocannon changes are coming.
Yeah, but I think if you what they're telling that I want to keep it a little bit more to realistic, they cannot nerf the Terminator because it's an infantry supporting vehicle with massive firepower, and you can simply not say, okay, you got 30mm cannons, and because it is massively, you cannot simply then you will ruin the whole gameplay and the purpose of the vehicle if you nerf it in such a way. I think it's my idea.
What do you think about the Cupolas and unmanned turrets going to full damage?
I think it's a stupid idea. This means that
It's gonna
like Terminators already have such little hit points that like even if you do the glancing damage that usually happens, they are usually completely screwed.
Yeah,
Well, the glancing damage that quote usually happens. I mean, I get hit in the turret by a Stingray for 400 with a Sabo round. That's not a glancing hit. That's a third of my hit points, and they are saying that it's going to have the similar hit points to a T-72
That's still 1,600 hit points. 1,000. Well, literally.
At the
500
moment.
More than already has.
at the moment.
At the moment.
That's what it says in the article.
I missed that bit.
Which is.
But
the
even
same way
even
as
still,
the
it's like
people.
even still though, it's one of those things that like a lot of the information we're comparing, you know, the current vehicles, like how the way the current vehicles work
Yeah,
compared to then.
They're rewriting the whole game.
Yeah.
So like the gun damage that we're expecting to see is probably wrong because it's probably going to be lower. A lot of the
Yeah.
gun damage is going to be a lot lower, and you're not going to have this incremental increase anymore. So you can't expect like a T-72 at tier 5 versus a T-72A at tier 6. They're going to do about the same damage. Maybe 10, 20 points of damage difference between them.
even with 4 tiers between them, they will still do the same damage. But it has to do with mostly the ammunition and your armor.
Mostly,
Yeah.
Mostly the things that are being adjusted are critical chance, particularly versus they're going to have different. According to the article, they're going to have different crit chances based on tier of vehicle that you're shooting at. So if you're shooting at lower tier vehicles, you have a higher crit chance.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
at the same time, they're going to have like, it's going to be almost the same amount of damage regardless what vehicle you're driving. So if you have 125 mil, it's going to do the same damage at tier 10 it did at tier 5.
But
Yep.
the
Would probably
game
do more.
the game will then be more about skill. If you are in a T54 or T55 and you're able to do damage to a 4 tier higher vehicle, let's say, for example, then it will all become more on your skill of driving this tank than simply because you are a tier 4, 5, 6 and you have so much hit points and you can penetrate.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to me, this seems more a challenge. The game will become more of a challenge, I think.
I agree. I also see that, you know, players like to drive seal clubbing vehicles or overpowered vehicles, like people who drive Challengers all day long or Xylo S's, are gonna rage all over the place because they're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "I'm not overpowered anymore." Well, that was never intended.
Yeah, but that's also what they and what I found also very good. Immediately, what they put in the article, everyone will be compensated, and that's something I've not seen before. In such a way, I mean, it's an open beta. They have all the right to change the game.
Well,
Uh,
if you played New Vegas, when the first expansion to New Vegas came out, I forgot what it was, but it was so badly buggy that they didn't even realize. So what they did was they said, "Okay, we're going to fix this." They offered everyone full refunds,
Okay.
and then went through and fixed all of the bugs over the course of a month, and left the full refunds up in case you still wanted to get a full refund on the first DLC.
Okay.
Obsidian is known for, if they feel like you've earned something or that they've screwed up, this is something they're known for, is just saying, "Nope, we're
Okay.
doing this for free. We're
I
doing
didn't
this
know
right."
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Same thing with South Park: The Stick of Truth. They had some major bugs at the start of the game, and they said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do." They took the game down for 2 weeks and brought it back after they'd fixed it. And everyone who during the 2 week period, they said, "Look, we're going to fix it, but if you want the refund before we fix it because you feel like we're not going to fix it enough, you can have it." They said that. And then it came back, and South Park: Stick of Truth is one of the best games that I've ever played, even though it's horrifically bad. So I have faith in their ability to make sure they're not going to cheat their players. I just wonder how they're going to go about it.
That's the one thing they haven't announced yet, and that is coming probably this week, I think.
Yeah. That's also something for us, of course, to see if we can get someone on the Armor Talk again, and maybe enlighten us a little bit more or explain things. Maybe Richard Taylor wants to come by once more and suggest that maybe.
That we could see if he wants to come by again and maybe explain to us like some of these mystery questions that we don't quite understand.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I think so too.
So what's the next thing we're going to talk about? Who's got it?
Well, yeah, we are all in waiting mode. We're waiting until the update comes, and it starts already with 0.19. So a lot of people that I know are putting the game to the side. They stopped playing it, and that's a little bit worrying. I mean,
See, to me, that's a mistake because
Yeah,
if they're going to
also-
compensate us
exactly.
for everything we've earned,
Yeah.
right now is the time that you pick your favorite premium tank.
Yeah.
You put all the boosts you can on it, and you run it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because you know full well when this patch comes out, you're going to be compensated.
Yeah.
That means that if you're sitting there racking up credits and free XP to be compensated for, you're taking advantage of the situation to make sure that you get the most out of the game when it goes to 2.0 effectively.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was also my idea, and I'm also telling people, guys, come on, keep playing. But
This is sort of what we said last week, though, that, you know, with the queue times getting longer and stuff, that it was about time that they just got on with it.
Yeah, it
Well-
was about time they just got on with it. We just didn't expect them to just get on with it. When we
No.
had
I
some-
wasn't expecting that amount of information at once either.
yeah,
That
it's a
was
lot.
insane.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But we knew this was a big patch. Like, we knew it was going to be big. We didn't, but I
Yep.
don't think any of us realized the scope of it was, the entire game's being rewritten all at once.
Yeah, because even the economy's changed. Like, I don't think they've talked about the economy yet, have they?
They
I
have
think that
said that
was,
it will be changing. They haven't
Yeah.
said how. If it's going to
So
be.
it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to be a thing, and I'm looking forward to it though. Like, from what I read, it's definitely looks something that's going to be amazing.
I think in general, the most people also on the forum, if you read, people are looking forward to this. They see it as positive, and of course you always have a percentage that really, is salty, stays salty,
that wants
and-
something to whine about just to whine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
mean, that's-
I'm all for it. So
Yep.
It can only get better, in my opinion. It only can get better.
All I have to say, I'm extremely jealous that you guys are in your tier 10s.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I earned it. I didn't. They gave it to me for free.
Well,
I
did earn them all.
Well, we're in the one that's going away, aren't we?
Actually, technically, I didn't earn. I had to earn my tier 10s because they didn't give me the tier 10s for free. They gave
Nope.
me enough money to buy 2 of them, and I now have 4.
Yeah, well, I have all of them now.
I have all of them too, but
You know,
Yeah.
you want to know what also sucks about this update for content creators?
Yeah,
Every single review I've done,
yeah.
I have to go
exactly.
mark as pre-patch 0.19
Oh, yeah.
and throw all of them out. I have to. I mean, it gives me plenty of stuff to create content on, but I've reviewed every single vehicle in the game but like 10. And there's 180 vehicles currently in the game.
Well, we got something to do, I think, in the coming
Exactly.
months. Jesus.
Yeah.
The I think in general well, I've got all the tanks, and I played really literally grinded them all, and now just since 2 weeks ago I got this well, a little help from Mycom to get some gold and premium and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful for that, but I did already grind all the tanks myself. And I know a lot of guys who also did grind all the vehicles, and they are like scared shitless because they think like, oh my god, the whole game is going to change. And so I'm trying to reassure them like, guys, it will all be okay, you will be reimbursed and this and that and so on and so on. And that's the general mood a little bit about the new patch of Balance 2.0. They are
everyone's
afraid.
always going to be scared of change, though. To be honest,
Yeah.
That's just human nature.
like they're never going to just leave us high and dry. Like that's not
No,
a thing that
I don't. I'm sure that they will not do that.
Yeah.
But I can also imagine if you have grinded all your tanks and you have really played them all, you know, grinded them all, and then suddenly a big change is coming. That's always difficult. I mean, I can imagine
Yep.
people are afraid of losing what they have, and
I can imagine it, but they have said they're going to compensate us. So,
yeah, but it's not.
I mean, even if we do the unspeakable and do a reset, I think they're going to do the reset and then like for the new economy give us all of the free XP and credit equivalent to what we had. So if you just want to go back and get it again, you can go grab it.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about that. What I'm worried about more is by compensation if the economy is retooled and readjusted so the numbers are all lower. What happens to, you know, like if I have 53 million credits, am I going to feel cheated when that 53 million is suddenly 20 mil or 30 mil and it just feels like I've just lost credits?
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely. I'm pretty sure they're not going to do it. Like they're not going to leave us, like I say, high and dry on that kind of front. They said basically, if you've got a tank already, you're going to have that tank unless it's being like completely removed from the game.
And you'll have its replacement in place of the one you had.
Like the XM1A3 that we're like 3 of us are driving now is going away.
And if they do it correct, and if they do it like they've programmed the rest of the game, the what is it called? The tanks that we have now, when a tank is removed, we should be able to sell the new tank that we're given as replacement at full value.
Yep. Oh, by the way, talking of the XM1A3, I just want to say, and talking of called it, I called that, didn't I? The SEP V3 coming in at tier 9.
I heard you were talking about it. So, and it will be quite.
They still don't have a replacement for this tank, but they have.
Yeah,
but even in the news article, they said they're looking for one.
I thought they had the Cat B. The Cat B's coming in it.
Yeah, the Cat B. That's also what I heard, and that was quite a big. Ready? Yes, it will come, and they were simply debating if the XM1A3 would stay, or they would simply it will be taken out of the game. I personally think it will not be taken out, because a lot of people are really attached to this tank. I am also, because I love it, and it will be probably a value tank or maybe even a premium. I don't know.
I can't remember if I did read that. I have a feeling it's going to be a premium. I
Yeah.
think I read that in one of the articles somewhere along the line. Or one
A
of
tier
Silent
10
Stalkers.
premium.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yay.
what?
I think that might have been one of Silent Stalker's replies in that thread.
Yeah.
It's funny though. We talk about how
Yeah.
like the population of the game is shrinking, blah blah blah. But that in what 2 days that thread was at 90 pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So people are
It's
still
scandalous.
definitely interested.
Of
Over
course.
2,000
Of course.
replies.
Of course.
Yep.
I think, what I've read, and I'm really confident. I'm confident in Richard Taylor and his team, and I'm confident in Mycom, how they now taking care of things. 'Cause that comes from me. I'm really, after a long time of asking for things and even getting answers on time, being helped properly, I can only say I'm looking forward with confidence to the future of this game. I really am.
Also,
think
I
the
begin to
mindset-
wonder if we're going to start seeing physics where we can do a lot more ramming damage, because I really feel like I should have just ran that weasel completely over.
You can do that.
Yep.
It's nice. It's fun. Really. You do it
Oh,
with
and didn't
Armada.
they say that they're armoring some of the driver ports as well?
Yeah, they're driver ports that the tanks that actually have driver ports are going to still have them, but they're going to be armored like they should be, or the
Yeah.
ones that don't have driver ports like that as weak points, like they don't exist, are going to have them removed.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
The retrofits. What did you guys think of the plan of the retrofits? How they're going to go about it? Simply get 3 ports.
I think what they tried to do with the current system was reinvent the wheel,
Mhm.
and they didn't have to.
No.
So they're going back and saying, well, what can we do that isn't reinventing the wheel that works?
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're doing. They're going back and they're seeing, what actually should have been done in the first place, because
Mhm.
you don't need to reinvent the wheel in that case. You just
No.
need to make something that's good or good
Yeah.
enough.
We will see. I mean,
I think it's just to give people more choice. Like at the moment,
Yeah.
you're kind of railroaded into doing a certain thing because of the
mhm.
Because of the accuracy stack requirement.
well, not even that, because like if you've only got mobility things on a tank that doesn't really need mobility, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're
Definitely.
forced to do it even if you don't particularly want it.
And that's against your opposite numbers, for instance. It will not be fair. You cannot have, your firepower increased and your opponent can get, for instance, increase his firepower. I mean, that's not fair. So that's why now they're giving each and every one simply universal retrofit slots. So it's much fairer than this way.
I also can't wait for AI artillery to go away.
Yeah, that's
AI
something
artillery in PvE,
is
I cannot
piss-
wait for.
It's pissing me
Yep.
off, really.
Well, the reason I mention it is because on my tank right now, I have all but 2 of my modules are broken.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just was in the PL01. Everything was broken. And also in my previous game, the Leo, everything was broken. All the modules.
I really hope they fix this falling damage thing.
How much
Because
did you just
landing
take?
on, I took 700 landing on my suspension. That is silly. I landed on my. That is less of a leap than the frickin' T80 and T90s have to make on the Russian obstacle course.
Even though it does completely wreck their suspension in the end.
In the end.
Yeah, but it doesn't like destroy the tank's combat ability.
True.
I mean, I could see maybe breaking my suspension and making me have to pay for it that way, but 700 hit points? Really?
Oh god damn it, artillery!
But Artie loves you, and you love Artie, yes?
It definitely loves me, but it's definitely not mutual at this point.
You can't spell party without arty.
Hey, I'm gonna die to RT and oh no,
Oh, no, we're good.
game
Removal
finished
of
just as the
AIRD,
RT coming in.
If they're gonna remove AI Artie, though, I want them to turn the AI up to 11 and let the AI go full speed, and add wheeled AI vehicles.
Well, I'm just waiting for them to start firing ATGMs at us.
Oh, that'll be
Oh,
a
no.
scary incident. Come around the corner, 3 Terminators, ATGMs, and you're like, I had a tank.
They need to
PS as
fix.
well.
Yeah, they need to fix the tank spawning. I think the types of vehicles spawning, because you
Well,
only ever see
we
like
talked about
M8s
that
and
with,
Terminators.
We talked about that with Rich. The
Yeah.
wheeled vehicles for the AI aren't functioning properly yet, so the AFV spawns are restricted to tracks. I would love it if, you know, a crab or a sphinx came flying around the corner at 100 kilometers an hour and we had to react to that shit. That would be like the heart attack that we needed to wake up.
Yes.
Yeah, well. But at the moment, PvE is quite. It's a tough cookie. Last week alone, about 10 games, lost 6 of them. And then you're talking about guys driving in a tier 9, tier 10 vehicle. And you should think that they know how the system works, or how PvE works. And losing in such a really silly way. Amazing. PvE. Or being targeted, being shot at within my XM1A3 last week on Basilisk PvE. It took me 2 minutes in the game. I had to use my package, and another 3 minutes I was completely gone.
Wow.
That's how fast it went in PvE. And
We need...
spawning in front
Working
of
on
you, on top of you, everywhere.
I really do hate this ready bug.
I do.
I'm
too.
ready.
Someone's not ready.
They're not ready.
I'm
ready
not.
Again.
Ready. I'm ready. Freddy's ready.
I'm not ready. There's a reason.
Just keep readying and unreadying until it says something.
Yeah.
So, about this economy thing. So, I just wanted to see how much it would cost. Apparently, it would cost you 69 million credits to buy and outfit a T-14.
Yeah. True.
That's
Hmm.
that's not counting any of the XP costs. That's just buying the tank, putting the
Yeah.
retrofits on it, and upgrading it.
I was explaining that to the people of MyCom. They give you this incentive. We talked about it before. They give you 100 million. Well, have fun with it. Yeah, I said that's 1.5 tank, completely outfitted in tier 10.
It's one fully refitted tier 10 and one
Yeah.
tier 10 with a few upgrades bought.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Do you have any semblance of how your economy works?
Well, you know, it's
You know, I forgot to change out the ammo, so I just have the stock
Yeah.
152 ammo.
Nice. I'm to be honest, I'm very interested to see what they come up with the economy changes.
well, PvE is really dramatic at the moment. You don't earn really nothing,
Yeah.
hardly nothing, and that was way better before. I don't know what they did, but it was way better before.
It's because everyone complained that PvE was too efficient, and then the
Yeah.
PvP wasn't good enough. So instead of upping PvP, they lowered PvE
So
I don't know.
because reasons.
Reasons, yeah.
I would like to talk about some serious balance issues that me and a few of the forum moderators have come across, notably with Spartacus. If the hit points are going to be majorly based on tonnage, then that means a lot of the higher tier tank destroyers, AFVs and light tanks are going to be nothing but free kills. The Striker already is seen as a free kill because of its low hit points. It is like less than 30 tons. Already it's been stated the T-64, which is 40 tons, has 1,600 hit points. The Sphinx, the Crab, the VBR, any of the tank destroyers, all of them are in some cases less than 25, and they have no armor. This means that essentially, like I said, you are going to be a free kill.
Well, they're
You will
adding
not
back
have
in.
the armor to back to bounce anything, and you will not have the hit points to be able to tank any rounds either.
Well, they are adding back in over penetration with this patch.
That will not help.
If you reduce the damage of Sabo rounds by half of what they're shooting at you for, so if you only have 600 hit points, but they're only doing 200 points of damage, they've got to hit you 3 times. And that's a long time to reload and hit you 3 times.
Yeah.
Or they just shoot at you with heat and bam, no more over penetration.
Well, but then they have to swap to heat.
and then that means you're basically a one-shot. Sorry,
No.
a two-shot with 1% health left.
Well, if you're driving a no armored AFV, you know that you're going to be a 1 or 2 shot as is right now. So what difference did that make
Only
with
in
this
low
new
tiers.
patch?
A high tiers, at least they have some form of health to be able to bat themselves up and not be an instant death.
I'm talking about low tiers. Like if I'm driving my Fox or I'm driving a Swingfire, I assume it's only going to be 2 hits to kill me.
And so you're fine for all of the AFEs in the entire game to be like that?
The majority of them, yeah. I mean, you were playing AFV is high risk, high reward gameplay. You don't have armor, you don't have protection, but you
Yeah.
have other capabilities. You trade your protection and your hit points for utility.
And
Yep,
stealth
and-
most of the time.
For what will be essentially, in the end, at higher tiers, a single-shot missile. Or in some cases, multiple
Well,
shot
no,
missiles.
they have stated they are leaving in the system that prevents one shotting. So you will at least take 2 hits to kill.
Also, higher tier MBTs are supposed to be invulnerable to autocannons as stated by Silent Stalker. From the front, back, and rear.
Yeah.
This means that, essentially, an MBT can render themselves invulnerable in most cases by simply just brushing themselves up against an AFV and wiggling all the time. As you won't be able to hit the weak spots. You won't be able to shoot them with autocannons either, because the autocannons will be useless against them.
Well, no. Based upon the numbers that they've been giving us, the autocannons should still be able to penetrate their rear.
Yeah.
Or at the very minimum, you can penetrate exposed rear areas such
Between-
as top of engine deck or exhaust ports
Between the
Or-
tracks.
between the tracks, or in a lot of cases, the back of the turret will still be penetratable very
Forum
easily.
Post said that they will be fully invulnerable to autocannons from all angles.
I think the forum post is wrong because the official press release said otherwise. They are reducing significantly the amount of damage the autocannons are going to do, so the time to kill for autocannon weapons goes up. Because I will even admit that a BMD4 getting behind a main battle tank and killing it before the main battle tank can turn around is ridiculous. Like, I've seen so many times where a player gets, even I've done this myself, I get behind somebody and I rip them to shreds before they can even turn their tank around.
I'm not a
That's
fan of
not
that
fair.
either. I would prefer autocannons to be basically like the damage of an MBT in their entire salvo or something.
I wouldn't say that because it takes about twice as long to empty your entire salvo as it takes to reload an autocannon, as it takes to reload a main gun. If you were going to even them out, they would have to do as much damage as each other, which would make no sense. Like from a gameplay standpoint, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Whatever.
I mean, what do you guys think? I personally feel like you should be punished if an AFE gets behind you.
Yeah, you definitely should be punished if an AFE gets behind you.
I think we had this discussion also before, and that also has to do with the size of the maps. If you want to really start using
Yep.
the AFVs as they are meant to be used, to flank and support infantry, then of course they should be able to be penetrating the tanks, MBTs on the rear, of course.
And I think they changed the Leopard 2 series to its hull traverse was nerfed because it was impossible to get behind it.
True.
So circling as a tactic is going to be, actually become a thing again.
Yeah, the
Yep.
When I
circle
say it
of death.
again, is
Yeah.
Period. Because like up until actually right now even circling an MBT is nearly impossible.
Yep.
Like if they see you coming and they start turning, you're done. You're not
Yeah.
going to be able to. You might as well break off and go do something else. Or even worse yet, particularly at higher tiers, you get behind MBTs and you might get 4 or 5 shots off, and they're already halfway turned around to shoot you. And I'm sorry, but main battle tanks don't turn that fast.
No,
No, you don't.
they don't.
Especially the Challenger 2.
Exactly.
And then suddenly thousands of teacups drop to the floor in pain.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking about those tonnage changes as well, this is just a giant buff to the MBTs, as all of the other classes will have so little hit points compared to them.
I think that you're taking that the wrong way. You're taking it a little too literally. I think they'll have different hit point pools based on their class type.
It says it's based on tonnage, not their class point anymore.
Oh, I thought also it was about the class. I mean, they will get certain, will be judged.
Yeah,
in
but I
certain tasks.
don't see an MBT having more than 2,500 hit points at tier 10. Period. And I don't see an AFV having more than 1,400, and I feel that's fair.
We also are looking at it very one-dimensionally as well, because the AFVs and light tanks and stuff have other things that the MBTs do not, like camo, vision range.
The ability to go, hey, that person takes maximum damage, shoot them.
Speed. Speed's the other thing.
I don't
Speed,
want,
utility of weapon choice. What were you saying, Sophie?
I don't want tank destroyers to be a class that snipes at the back of the map, completely invisible, and has high damage. No, and has high ROF and low
No,
damage guns.
TDs.
I do not want all of the tank destroyers in the game to be a Xylo.
No, but TDs will not be a class anymore. TDs.
Well, that
Well,
kind of the gun wheel.
And
vehicles.
if you read the notes, they said that TDs are going to have a significant view range nerf, so they will either
Yeah.
have to get closer or rely on AFVs for spotting. Period. End of story. They won't get a choice in the matter anymore.
They have to be closer
So the
behind the second
Xylo,
line.
for instance, the Xylo problem we've brought up, that's being addressed directly by going, hey, you in the Xylo, yeah, you can't do that anymore.
That still means they're able to remain invisible and not be spotted while continually pumping out shots and annoying people to death.
Well, I
That
mean,
is
that's
not
kind of
fun
their
to be up
job, though.
against.
Their job is to annoy you.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're tank destroyers. They have good guns, but they don't have any armor at all, except for maybe the Striker if it has the fencing armor. I mean,
I mean,
that's for heat.
the clue is kind of in the name.
I mean, second line defense. I mean, behind the main battle tanks. TDs, and that's or not even. Sniping is out of the question. That will be in the past, I think. So you will be simply supporting your. So team play will be more of an issue.
Team play is one of the things that multiplayer games like this it does not happen.
Yeah.
Most of the time
Sadly.
it is 15 uncoordinated people up against 15 undercoordinated people.
Yeah.
And you're in a class which can't carry. You're
Mhm.
basically at the mercy of those.
True.
You're in an MBT, you'll still be able to do well. You're in an AFE, but no one wants to distract them, you're screwed.
Mhm.
You're in a tank
Yeah.
destroyer and no one wants to distract them, you're screwed. You're in a light tank and no one wants to distract them, you're screwed. I think that Bat 2.0 is basically just a buff to MBTs and a nerf to other classes.
No.
I
No,
don't think so also.
because they've seen what happens when they do that, and they've seen the outrage from the player base when MBTs were basically invulnerable bricks.
They still are.
They are going to be no more pixel hunting. They will simply get weak spots, and much bigger than they are now.
Yeah,
That
that's what I read
means-
too. Like,
Yeah, they will be simply. You have to be very tactical with your tank. So certain areas of your tank you simply have to hide or play in such a way.
MBTs will basically play like the T125 and model tanks, which is one of the faster and more mobile heavy tanks. It's basically an MBT and relies on you covering up its lower glacis and everything. I'm just concerned that this is going to go wrong.
Yeah,
we won't really
course.
know until we actually see the patch notes, the official patch notes, because
Yeah.
what we have is just what they want to do, really. And what
I
they
hope
maybe
that
changed.
No effect inert component will go away as well.
Oh, that annoys me so much when I shoot the side of a turret, it hits a toolbox, and it goes, no effect inert component. I'm like, the side of the turret only has 50 millimeters of armor. What do you mean?
yeah,
Even with it
Frustrating.
hitting the toolbox, it should still go straight
Or-
in.
yeah. Or shooting at M8 turret with your Armata, and then no effect. You know.
Yep.
Also happened. Like what?
I mean, at least they tell you a reason why it's a no effect these days, rather than just random no effects that you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
I am kind of glad that normalization is going mostly away, because certain shells don't normalize. Like heat shells don't normalize; they just explode.
Yep.
HE shells don't normalize; they explode. And modern Sabo rounds, I mean, normalization on them at best is 2 degrees. That's all it is,
Yeah.
because they have to rely on sheer force.
They don't care about sloping unless it's at extreme angles. Like
Well,
the
angling
glazes
will
on
be
most
something.
MBTs.
Angling will be now. Will not be something only we did in World of Tanks. That also will be now in Armored Warfare.
Although I do find, I mean, as fun as a game mechanic it is, I do find it somewhat amusing that MBTs with 40mm of side armor can bounce each other with 800mm of penetration.
Yeah.
And as well as the armor kits currently now bringing in like 400mm of side armor, when they don't, they're just there to block shaped challenges and RPGs.
Yeah. But also the ATGMs, now you shoot in a straight line, almost in a straight line. But if you look in real life, how
Yeah,
an
they have that
ATGM is
little
going,
flying around thing, which they
Yeah.
don't have.
they're also going to do. So you have to do more of an effort to aim at your target. Keep it on target.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, that's realistic. I mean,
That also means that this, 600, 700, 8-meter ATGM weak point sniping,
Yeah.
where people sit back as far as possible just spamming ATGMs, that's not going to happen anymore.
No.
You're not going to be able to do that consistently, and you're going to want to get closer. Not to mention that the APS systems don't work at close range.
Yeah.
You're going to want to get close.
And they've pretty much changed the APS systems too.
well, it's now somehow when you drive with 3 MBTs who have APS, none of the ATGMs come through.
And now it's going to be, the APS is going to work the direction you're facing, first off.
Yeah.
And second, if they're within a certain range, like particularly when, like a shot Sophie did yesterday on live stream, she fired an ATGM with the barrel pressed up against the tank, and the APS system destroyed the missile. And I'm like,
Wow.
no.
It was actually under the vehicle. I think it was that. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was like a Leopard or something, and he was like, you know those things where you have the vehicle like up by night by a 70-degree angle when they ram you. Well, he rammed me, and instead he was one at a 70-degree. I fired the APS, and I fired the missile, and the APS blocked it.
Funny. Well, maybe we'll make it manually. I don't know.
Well,
They
it's
may
going to have
eventually
a.
to make it manual.
Well, it's still going to be a 60-degree cone to the front of your tank.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
be
then
basically 30
there's
degrees
hard
each
kill.
side.
There's going to be a difference between hard kill, soft kill.
Yep.
And then there's going to be different effectiveness based on the era or how old it is or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was the other thing I was
Exactly.
reading. So the APS is going to take a really big hit to its actual efficiency.
I
To be
reckon, yeah.
honest.
I think in general they want to make the game more. Well, what you see now is a lot of passive play in the high tiers, and that will simply be gone.
I think that's mainly because of the pixel weak spots, the fact
Yeah.
that showing your side armor,
Yep.
too
Exactly.
much is instant death.
Exactly.
And that it's not fun.
No, not at all.
No effect in a component. No, really.
Yeah,
No
that
effect.
the side of the Challenger turret there repeatedly no effect in dirt component.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. I'm like, I shot you in the side of the head. What do you mean no effect in dirt component?
I mean, I may have bounced off the roof, maybe. Potentially.
But what do you guys think in the comments below? Because we're way over time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
we passed the 35-minute mark and just kept going.
Yeah. Well, I think.
And we could keep going too.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
this topic will keep everyone busy the coming weeks. I mean, well, people are already involved, the viewers, and giving their comments, and the only thing we can do is simply, well, keep it open, keep an open dialogue with everyone.
So
Because it keeps speculating, I think.
I'm again going to provide a link to the press release in the description
Yeah.
below, as well as a link to everyone's channel.
Yeah.
I would like to
Yep.
thank my friends here for continuing to do this with me. You guys are awesome. I hope to see all of you next week, and I hope all of you are going to be well for the Christmas holiday. And Sophie
Yeah.
will be sitting here next to me, so
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
be entertaining.
Woo.
Whee!
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that sounds very promising. Oh, Sophie. Okay. Now, guys, was fun. And,
Yep.
well, talk to you soon.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one.
Thank
Yeah,
for
see you later,
watching,
guys.
everyone. Leave your comments in the section, and remember, like and subscribe to everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.